Hello and welcome to this instructional video on pool installation. This video will take you from the start of the dig to the finished pool filling with water. To begin, translate the pool blueprint onto the ground in the desired location. To convert the pool blueprint into an excavation layout, simply mark another set of lines 24 inches outside of the existing layout. Hammer down pins in accordance to the measurements and then spray paint the footprint around the ground with bright paint to establish the site. Using an excavator, begin digging out the pool along the spray painted lines of the dig footprint. Displaced soil will be later used for backfilling the pool, as well as grading and leveling the ground. Use a tamper to make the foundation firmer and more resistant to deformation. Wet soil will require clear crushed quarry stone to be placed in the excavation so that no standing water will be in the hopper. The excavation must be overdug to accommodate the gravel. The stone will allow for water to flow through without washing out and collapsing the excavation sides. The addition of a foot valve attached to a pump will permit you to dewater the excavation during the construction. Tamp down and rake the stone to make for a sturdier foundation. Use as much force as you can accurately when using the hand tamper. Tamping down gravel will make it less prone to move and give the pool a more stable foundation. Make sure to double check as you go, comparing the measurements of the excavation to those of the blueprint drawing. Spread the gravel over as much of the excavation as possible to ensure the ground beneath the pool will have great drainage. Accurately marking slopes is accomplished with the proper use of string line, rebar, and a builder's level. The rebar will serve as guides while pouring concrete. The concrete has to be screed to the tops of the rebar and string line guides. The stakes can then be tapped down into the concrete with a hammer. With the measurements double-checked, excavation can resume. An easy way to measure the depth of the hopper is to run string across the tops of the slopes and then measure from the string to the bottom of the hopper. Rake out the gravel to provide a flattened and relatively smooth surface. Place the panels around the excavation, positioning the skimmer, return, and light panels in the correct places. The cutout for the skimmer is at the top of the panel, while the light must be positioned so that the cutout is placed closest to the bottom. Consider the direction of the wind on your property. The skimmer should be located where the wind will push surface debris and leaves. The return line should be arranged to move water in a circular motion towards the skimmer. The wall panels are strong but light enough to move easily to and around the pool. The panels dictate the shape the pool will take, so it may prove useful to organize them before walking them in. Start assembling at a corner panel, then work your way around the pool adding straight panels. This way, panels will remain upright easily without any additional supports. You may choose to put just one bolt in at the top, middle, and bottom for starters, and then return later to complete the bolting process when adding A-frames and deck supports. Butt the two panels together, and then use a tapered drift pin to align the holes on the flange of the panel. Install step supports per manufacturer's recommendations. Shown here is an inventive temporary method using turnbuckles to support the panels. Turnbuckles and A-frames are used to support walls. Place turnbuckles at strategic points around the pool so that they are easily reached while assembling the perimeter. A-frames go at every panel joint. Adjustable A-frames have the ability to adjust a panel to being plumb without the need for shimming. Secure the steps to the steel panels with clamps before bolting the two together. The stairs will need holes drilled into their sides for the inlets. Once all panels are assembled, double-check all dimensions before stabilizing the panels with A-frames. A-frames are attached at every panel joint. The ones used in this video are the adjustable A-frames, which provide the advantage of altering plumbness after being set. Use a manual knockout punch to make an opening for the return fittings. Continue double-checking measurements throughout the assembly process to ensure that the final product adheres to the original design. Drive a steel rebar stake through the hole in the bottom of the panel to keep it from shifting. With the A-frames at their desired standing, stake them into place. A radius filler will nicely smooth off the abrupt angles of a rectangle pool. By putting sections of PVC pipes over the base of the A-frames, the PVC pipes running through the A-frames will be protected. Remember that skimmers should be placed on the pool in an area where the wind will naturally carry the most floating debris. With a rectangular pool, level the four corners first, then the sides. This makes leveling easier because once bolted together the panels are quite rigid and will span areas with a minimum amount of sag. Check at each panel joint to ensure that all the panels are leveled. Duct tape all the panel joints. This will help create a seal later in the process.